Can we just let James Gunn direct every single violent comic book movie in future, please? Thank you. What is up, everyone? Movie back again with another review, and this is going to be for the 2021 film The Suicide Squad, and this is directed by James Gunn and stars Idris Elba, John Cena, Margot Robbie, and yeah, lots and lots of other people. This tells the story of a bunch of supervillains named the Suicide Squad who are sent to an island to retrieve and destroy every detail about a secret project titled Project Starfish. Well, every man and his dog seemed to be disappointed with the 2016 version of Suicide Squad, didn't he? I'm not gonna lie, I've never actually seen that film all the way through. I've seen bits here and there, but because I've had so much criticism, I've never really delved into it. But James Gunn wanted to dab at this himself, so let's see how he done with this damn thing. First of all, I gotta talk about the amount of characters on screen here. Right from the off, we are thrown into the mix with some chaotic looking costumes and really out there personnel. There's a human-sized weasel licking a cage, for Christ's sake, and it sets the tone very early on for what this film's gonna be. James Gunn is basically saying to the audience, you better have fun with this damn thing, because that's what I want you here for. Seriously though, there are some very bizarre characters in this movie. Idris Elba is probably the main protagonist, I'd say, and he's the leader of this team. He's there to keep everyone grounded and focused. But even he has his bizarre moments. Like, there's a scene where the team are off to rescue someone from capture, and he's doing this weird sneaky walk, and I was just bursting out laughing in my seat. I was in absolute bits. There's no one in this movie who is level-headed whatsoever, and that's why it works so well. We also have Viola Davis, who you would think is the most normal character out of all these people. She put the Suicide Squad together. She is the one who wants this mission done properly and gives the orders and commands to people, but you disobey her for 1 second, she will not hesitate to flick a switch and your head will be blown to smithereens with a bomb that she's implanted in there. She gets up and barks profanities at everyone. And she's just a really sinister character. I found her to be a real dreadful person, actually. And then you've got people like Polka Dot Man who fire polka dots at people and they'll melt within seconds. A guy goes around with a javelin, that's his weapon. And King Shark, how can we forget that guy? A human-sized shark who eats humans. This is a crazy-ass movie, and everything else to go with these characters only confirms that. Now, James Gunn has definitely been released from Marvel's family-friendly shackles here and goes all out with the violence. I love it when comic book movies do this, and he doesn't hold back whatsoever. There is skulls just sliced in half, limbs are torn off. King Shark at one point actually rips a man in two. Gorehounds are absolutely gonna love this. Now, James Gunn directs the absolute shit out of this film. He literally brings a comic book to life here. He has brilliant action set pieces, beautiful cinematography, and fresh new ideas. For example, there's a moment where Harley Quinn is taking on this little mini army on her own, and it's an awesome scene to look at because she's just kicking ass. But what's coming out of the gun instead of bullets, and coming out of these soldiers instead of blood, are these cartoonish looking flowers. And at first I was like, oh, I don't know about this. Is James Gunn going a little bit too far? But then I realised it fits the comic book style tone. And it really did work. And I can visualise it in my head now how great that scene was to look at. Visually stunning. And I can't wait to watch The Suicide Squad again. The whole movie's great, but for this scene in particular. And even though he's been let loose here by DC to do what he wants, he incorporates a lot of things from Guardians of the Galaxy into The Suicide Squad. Not just the wacky characters, but for example, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely amazing here. Each song just fits the scene perfectly. It drops at the right time, and there's some awesome tunes on this playlist. We also have some absolutely hilarious humour. I remember how good Guardians and Guardians Volume 2 was for the humour. I was in bits at them movies, and here it was no different. I was laughing in my cinema seat so hard I actually felt bad for making so much noise, but I couldn't help myself. This is seriously one of the funniest, if not the funniest, movie of 2021. I really enjoyed how Act 1 and 3 play out as well. I mean, there is a bit of middle ground where the movie does slow down a little bit due to its lackluster story, which I'll get to in a minute, but we are thrown right into the mix here. The action is amazing. It doesn't stop for quite some time. I mean, you're just thinking, is this movie going to slow down? And the grand finale in Act 3, where it really picks up again, I didn't see that coming in a million years. This is definitely worth waiting for the movie's climax, because it was just incredible. However, like I mentioned before, my favourite part of this movie is Margot Robbie kicking some ass. And by the way, she is just absolutely brilliant in this as Harley Quinn. It's a character she has taken to her own now, and she just top-notch 10 out of 10 performance once again from her. Probably the best actress working today, I feel. James Gunn has even said that she's the best actor he's ever worked with, and I can see why. But coming back to the story, I do feel this is my one major disappointment with the Suicide Squad, apart from Act 3, where it really does go in new directions. If this was Jason Statham or Liam Neeson instead of the Suicide Squad, going to this island to retrieve something to clear America's name, it'd just feel like the most generic action movie ever. But it is helped with these wacky characters and James Gunn directing, where he can be a little bit more expansive and make it comic book style, like I mentioned before. But I do feel like the story was lackluster. It does get away with it a little bit, but I still couldn't help notice it in the background that it wasn't anything special. Even though I do feel like there's room for improvement for the story, this is a really entertaining film. I mean, it does slow down in the middle, like I mentioned, but for the most part, it's pure entertainment. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. James Gunn has even stated this is the most fun he's had making a movie, and when you watch it, you can see that he's not lying whatsoever. I'm just going to go ahead and make this movie now. I'm going to give the Suicide Squad an 8 out of 10. Sliced alone as a talking shark. What more do you want? Oh, you want more? Well, there's actually a rat in this movie that is the best rat you will ever see in a film, ever. Trust me. Okay, at the end of these reviews, I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now, a fun fact for the Suicide Squad is that James Gunn actually went to Sylvester Stallone and said, I wrote this part for you in the Suicide Squad. To which Sylvester Stallone replied, oh yeah? And he says, yeah, it's a chubby human-eating shark that talks. To which Sylvester Stallone replied, anything for you, brother. Okay guys, I hope you all enjoyed this review. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I've got a lot more reviews coming, lots more videos, and if you want to comment about the Suicide Squad, leave it down below. I'll reply to every single one of you, I promise. Take it all easy guys. I'll see you all in the next video.